Hello, everybody. This is season 4, episode 4 of my Classroom Connection videos that I've done. This is 4 school years, and now here we are 4 episodes in on remote learning for 2020 and maybe even into 2021. We are currently still going through the screen. So I have 3 volunteers, 3 7th graders that said they would talk a little bit today about how things are going. We spent the whole first quarter in remote learning. I wonder if we're ever going to get to hybrid or in person. Okay, so I have to ask the same first question that I've asked all my students so far this school year, and then just feel free to jump in. What are you doing to cope through our COVID pandemic? What have you been doing to continue your social health, to keep up with your mental health? What is going on that you're willing to share with us? How are you coping right now? Who's first?
Well, because COVID and stuff is happening, I get to spend more time with my family, especially, and my dad's normally not here. So we do like some fun activities like at the end of the week just to be like positive. And then he like pushes me to do like to stay healthy. He would do like, hey, let's go running or a surprise event.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes it more fun.
Sure. Thanks, Sia. Anybody else? What are you doing right now?
So what I've been doing is basically I've been keeping in touch with a lot of my friends through email or text. And I think that's helped a lot with like mental health, because if I couldn't talk to my friends, it probably wouldn't be where I am right now. And
Sure.
also like my mom and me and my dad and my little brother all go to like parks and stuff, wipe down, make sure it's all safe and healthy. But that's also how we're having fun during this and staying active and staying healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Hannah. Myra, what are you up to?
So my dad usually travels, so we get to spend a lot more time with him, and we like have at the end of the week we go somewhere like not indoor, we go like outdoor and we have like a picnic or something.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like most of us are doing some more family time with some outdoor activities as the weather permits. It's starting to get a lot colder. You think you're going to keep up with that? I mean, the weather has turned, right? Am I right? It got real rainy, real cold right after Halloween. So I wonder what you're going to end up doing into the winter months. But do you mind? Do you miss some things of school? What is it that's most missed from in-person learning? Is it the friendships that are missed? Go ahead and talk about any of that.
The most thing that I miss about is that like the actual teaching in front. Like on online you can't see some stuffs, and when you're in person it's more better to talk in front instead of there's a device and you have to keep looking at it.
Yeah.
And it's just like more fun actually. You
Mhm.
can't do a lot of stuff on when you're online.
Yeah, thanks, Sia. Go ahead, Myra or Hannah, just jump in there.
I think that being with friends and having that type of connection, and yeah, being able to be with the teacher if you have any issues, like on your computer, you can't really do anything about it if you're on Zoom, but you can if you're in classroom. And I think that's really good if you have issues a lot.
Sure. I think we've noticed it takes a lot longer. Yeah, like we have to, like we're doing right now, you have to unmute or you type it into like, the chat and stuff like that, or you're emailing. It just seems to take, for at least me, that's, I guess, my personal opinion, maybe you'll agree, it just seems to take a little bit longer, right? Go ahead, Myra.
So in school, like we actually got to get every piece of instruction, but sometimes on Zoom, the internet gets unstable and like you can't really hear the instructions. Also in lunch, we had that 30-minute time to talk with our friends and eat lunch, but now it's just like eating lunch and go back to school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I find myself missing the interaction, just kind of like the joking around that we would do, the off-task stuff in class, which is always fun. I mean, that's even me coming from the teacher myself. I miss those times where it can just be informal. And now it seems like through the screen, it's got to be, as much instruction as I can get. I've got to make sure I got everything in order so that people understand the directions. People are coming in and out because the Wi-Fi might drop in their house, the internet might drop. I mean, our school internet even went down for a couple of days. I couldn't even sign on and see my students, you know? So I guess I'm missing all of that. Besides just the typical social interaction, how quick and easy it is to communicate in person sometimes, you know? So let's focus on let's flip that. Let's switch it and ask what's going on in some of your classes that has been fun. What has worked really well, or what do you get excited about doing? Is there any cool projects happening? So think about any class. What is it that's been working out and you actually look forward to each day?
Genius Hour is one thing because we didn't do that before. And I actually got in touch with my old friend. So we do like fun projects and I actually enjoyed that. And also in class, sometimes my advisory teacher, he like makes a fun game and the whole class will participate, which is really fun.
Oh, that's cool. What are they using? What app is it? Is it through Google Classroom, or is there a specific application being used like Kahoot?
No, we actually do like charades.
Oh,
But
wow.
so like 4 people or more people will be sent in a breakout room, and then everybody else will turn their cameras off. Then like each person has to it's like telephone charades, but in Zoom.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that sounds pretty interesting. I'm trying to do some more fun things like that too. I used to do a lot of trivia and wacky facts. And so I just have to figure out how do you get that in and through the screen, but that sounds a lot of fun. Can somebody tell, I mean, anybody that's watching might not know what we're talking about, but Sia or anybody else, can you talk about what Genius Hour actually means? What does that mean?
So Genius Hour is like an activity that Scullin has started doing where you could just like, it's just like on Mondays, you just take all your thinking into one project. You could do like board games and all that stuff. There's like a choice board and you can pick whatever you want. It's just
Yes.
like creative thinking.
You got it. It is definitely creative. You're taking a little bit more control on your own learning, you know? So for anybody familiar, this is project-based learning, problem-based learning, and some choice board activities. So you're right. Genius Hour seems like it's most people in 7th grade that I talk to, most of our 7th graders enjoy what they chose because they got to pick it, you know, it was their choice. So usually that's one of the fun things of their week. Okay, so Myra or Hannah, jump in. What has worked well, or has there been anything fun in the first quarter or starting second quarter?
I've been doing Genius Hour too. I learned how to make macaroons or
Oh,
macarons,
nice.
however you say it. It was really, really hard because you have to get every single measurement right down to the last little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I documented my process, and that's what I'm gonna do for Genius Hour. That's what I'm doing for.
Nice. So sorry, I interrupted there. Just a little bit of cooking or baking, right? Did you see our principal, Mr. Lorridge, did a breakdown of his own kind of like Genius Hour activity. He was making soup. It was this really yummy looking shrimp soup. So shout out to Mr. Lorridge. He showed us a little bit too insight into, you know, different interests and hobbies. It's kind of neat to see what people are interested in, you know, besides just schoolwork. So I'm glad we've got the Genius Hour going. And obviously schoolwork can be real life applicable, but it just seems like this is in the pandemic era, we're really finding out our roots. It seems like physical, mental, and social health are really, really important things as we figure out and navigate this whole like pandemic world, you know? Okay, Myra, go ahead. What's been working out? What have you looked forward to?
I also like Genius Hour, but every Friday advisory, my teacher puts like a game. Like sometimes we play Pictionary or like Would You Rather, so that's really fun.
Sure. So these little games that are happening, is that every single week, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, through which class was that? Advisory?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I want to end on, we'll just kind of ask one last question on things. Do you have any thoughts on what's going to happen for 2020 or 2021? I know that's kind of a loaded question, but any idea or any hopes? Maybe we'll make it that too. Is there anything that you hope is true as we get through Thanksgiving and the holidays of December into the new year? What do you hope, or what do you think is going to happen as we continue with this school year?
I kind of hope that like I know that the COVID's still going to be here for Thanksgiving,
Sure.
but I kind of want to maybe like for the new year, like Christmas and everything, hopefully that the COVID is gone, but like I think we might start school in 8th grade probably.
Do you think it's
Like
going to
next week.
take, well, the virus itself is still going to carry on, right? It's not going to
Yeah.
be completely gone. Do you think we're
Yeah.
ever going to make it back in 7th grade in person or hybrid?
Maybe there's a small hope, but
So it's almost like your guess is as good as mine, you know? Sometimes people ask me, what are we doing? I'm like, I don't know more than you know. We're all kind of working through this together.
yeah.
Myra, do you hope for anything for 2021?
I hope that like everything goes back to normal so we can like do everything in our everyday life, like what we normally do every day.
So getting out of the house, going to, what do you mean normal? Do you mean going to school? Are you talking restaurants, stores?
Yeah, go to shops and like meet your friends and go to school.
Anybody missing going to a movie theater? No, you don't care about movies. What about gathering in like a person's house, basement, apartment? You miss just getting together. You know, maybe just hanging out at parks together or having sleepovers, like the normal stuff that I guess kids would do. You know, Hannah, what are you thinking? Any thoughts for the future?
I think that maybe it'll die down a little bit, but it won't ever be like normal again, like it was before this all happened. I have a hope that next summer, me and my family take a trip down to Florida and have a little vacation, like a week-long vacation. And we're taking my mom's friends, and I want to take my friend this next year.
Mm-hmm.
And her mom will only let her go if it's travel restrictions.
Sure. I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense. We're all trying to be safe.
Yeah.
We're all trying to follow the guidelines that we hear from the state or from the nation level. So yeah, it's just, this is going to continue. And we'll just have to find out what happens in our community. Our current metrics in this community in Illinois, our cases have been increasing. So that's not a good sign for us getting back to hybrid or in-person learning anytime soon. We'll just have to find out. So I would encourage anybody out there to just hang in there and work as best as possible and make sure we're being positive. And like we just talked about with these three, find those projects or that social time that makes it all worthwhile, whether it's with family or through the screen with friends, any fun things happening for school. So anyway, thanks to you three for jumping on real quick today. And this week, what we'll try and do is we try and do as many of these as possible. It ends up being every week, every a couple of weeks, whenever I can organize getting some more students on through the screen. But anyway, I appreciate it. See ya, Myra, Hannah, thanks so much. To everybody out there, thanks for watching. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.